what is up guys, we're going to be doing a Predaplant deck profile today. Actually, this is a Predaplant DDD deck profile. So last time we did a deck profile combining DDDs and Predaplants, but I figure I might as well do one that also combines this Predaplants as a whole in general with a bit of a DDD as well. So last time we focused on a majority of DDD monsters and a minority of Predaplant monsters. Now let's go the other way around. We'll have more Predaplant monsters, but we'll just have a little bit DDD monsters instead. Now this takes on a completely different interesting build for it and a different playstyle as well. So without further ado, let's just show what we actually have in this particular deck. So we have 2 copies of Spinodinea. This card is definitely still a really great card, of course. One of our big beat sticks in the deck, and definitely does the job there. Playing 2 copies of Banksy Ogre here, basically like a kaiju monsters, as long as your monsters, your opponent's monsters have predator counters on them. We're playing also a Drosophilum Hydra, again same case here. As long as they have counters, then you can pretty much do a lot of things there as well. But of course, we're also playing 3 copies of Chimera Rafflesia. Chimera Rafflesia is basically the card that allows you to fusion summon some of your big Predaplant monsters. So it's definitely really nice here to actually do all this. Of course, we can also have a Predaplant Darlingtonia Cobra, one of the more important cards in the deck, of course, to search for your specific fusion cards that you need. We're also playing 2 copies of Saraceniant, a bit of a hand trap there, but of course, definitely one of your viable options as well for a fusion material. And of course, one of the most important cards in a Predaplant deck is, of course, the Predaplant Orthrus Scorpio. We're playing 3 copies of them because we just want to special summon any of these, and we can do a lot of things already. But that's pretty much it for the Predaplant engine part of it. It's not even an engine, this is a Predaplant deck. It's throwing in a DDD engine instead. So for the DDD component of it, or DD component, we are playing DD Swell Slime. 3 copies of those because it is the key card that allows you to fusion summon. We're also playing the 1 Necro Slime. Can work in the graveyard, but we only need 1 of them because, well, it's just mostly a fusion material, really. Playing 2 copies of Lamia because we don't really need that much, but she's also a tuner that can come back as well. So overall, it's kind of like you have 4 copies of her in the deck. Playing 3 copies of DD Savant Kepler. Obviously, he's going to be one of the key cards as well, and he's just going to be one of those dormant cards that I just summoned and staying there on the field. So what are you going to do with it? Use it as a fusion material, of course. Really great card, and just helps you keep the consistency in this deck. But that's it for monsters. Let's move on to spells. Alright, so for spells, we're going with 3 copies of Dark Construct of the Gate, of course. We have some 3 copies of Kepler here to search, and we have a small engine that we can search for, but basically mostly searching for Swell Slime to allow us to fusion summon. Of course, Swamp King will also facilitate in the fusion summoning here, makes things a lot quicker. Of course, we got to play Predaplants. Predaplants allows you to bring back Predaplant monsters from your graveyard. Who cares if their effects are negated, because you know what, we just need fusion materials, and this card definitely does the job there. We're also going to be playing technically 2 copies of Monster Reborn here. Predapruning. This card allows you to bring back Predaplant monsters, but the reason why he's so good is because he can bring back our Predaplant fusion monsters from the graveyard, so it's definitely going to be really cool to actually utilize that. We're going to be using Ultra Polymerization here. It's going to be very interesting seeing how this actually works in the deck, because this one is definitely going to cost you 2,000 life points, but it also requires you to have monsters on the board. But considering you have a Kepler there on the board, you always have something on the board to actually fusion summon, meaning you can't actually use cards from the hand, has to be from the field, so it's definitely going to be really cool there. Of course, we're playing the Polymerization as well. Definitely one very important card, and with that, we are also playing the Fusion Substitute as well, which does a similar job, but of course can return our fusion monsters from our grave back to our extra deck as well. Quite nice there. And we are of course playing the Super Polymerization. What better way than to take our opponent's monsters and use theirs as materials for fusion summoning? It's going to be really great here. Kind of epitomizes the whole evil of the whole deck here, that we're playing a dark variant here, also playing a Foolish Burial, also playing a 1-for-1 because we have the targets to go for that. Of course, we need a bit of draw power, so we're going to be using 3 Allure of Darkness, definitely quite nice since our whole deck is all dark monsters, of course. And we're going to be playing the 2 refusions, pretty much another Monster Reborn as well. It's kind of like we're playing 4 copies of Monster Reborn really, because you can bring back the fusion monsters again to just do your bidding, attack, and they're just really powerful. Some crazy, insane effects there as well. But that's it for the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck. Alright, so for the extra deck, with the Predaplant component, we're going to be playing the new Predaplants. This card obviously came out in Soul Fusion, and it's quite unfortunate, but overall, now that's out, it's definitely really fun to actually play in this deck. But obviously, we're only going to be playing one of them because it does cost a certain amount of materials to go for, and you know, but he is still one of the main boss monsters of the deck. I think there's a completely better boss monster in this deck instead, but we'll get to that later. But right now we're also playing 3 copies of Chimera Rafflesia. This card is definitely really good. Allows you to get off big monsters, of course, when it attacks, forces them to lose 1,000 attack, so it's definitely quite a useful card indeed. We're also going to be playing 2 copies of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. This card is definitely one very important card, of course. Again, just more negations, and it's just really awesome, and allowing you to just bring out these big attack monsters. And it's perfect for this format as well, because there are so many Thunder Dragons that we just have to deal with, and with that, having big attack monsters, it's the way to go here. Playing 2 copies of Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. This is the other main boss monsters of our deck, aside from Predaplants, of course. He's just really amazing. I already went over his effect in the DDD Predaplant video, so definitely check out that profile if you want to actually hear his effect out. But basically, he's just a really amazing card that we can go for here, and going for these, not difficult at all. None of these are going to be difficult, because we have the help of DDD monsters. We have a Dragonbane King Beowulf. Of course, he only works if you have a DDD monster, and as you saw in the main deck, we didn't have any DDD monsters, but we do have a D-Arc. So if he actually goes to the graveyard, then you can banish him with the Necro Slime that we had as well, and go for the Beowulf just in case. So definitely an option there as well, but he's obviously going to help out bring out Greedy Venom or Predaplants as well. But of course, Greedy Venom can survive or revive itself back from the graveyard by banishing a level 8 or higher dark monster. So that would be Starving Venom, Predaplants, Dragonbane, King Beowulf as well. Definitely many options that we can go for. Of course, since we're playing Lamia, we can also go for Siegfried as well. Lamia and D-Arc make Siegfried, so definitely really nice there, really easy. We're also playing an Omega, because aside from just D-Arc, we also have Chimera Rafflesia, which is also level 7, so together with Lamia, we can go into an Omega as well. And of course, we're also going for Beals, because, yeah, we have Lamia, a Dark Tuner, so really nice options there. Now, in the last deck profile for DDD Predaplants, we didn't play any Link Monsters. It makes sense. We can easily bring them back, and to be honest, in this deck, we don't even need Link Monsters as well. But we're just going to be playing some like Lanthorincus and a Metaltron, just because, really. We can go into them because it allows us to bring out more cards from an extra deck, but of course, we don't really need Link Monsters, because we can bring back Fusion Monsters with Refusion, of course, and we also have Predator Pruning as well, so we can easily bring back some of these monsters just very easily back from the graveyard. There's no big deal there, but that's pretty much it, and that's my take on this particular deck profile. I don't think anyone's actually tried doing this before, where they actually play a majority of Predaplant monsters and then just put a little bit of DDD into it. Most people just play a lot more DDD monsters instead, and add in a small Predaplant engine, but I decided to take this different way, and overall I found that this version allows me to go into this and that a lot more easily than ever. So yeah, I hope you guys you know, try this out. It definitely works incredibly well against Thunder Dragons, so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.